फ्रेम देख लेना कि आप
हाँ।
पूरे फ्रेम में आ रहे हो क्या?
I can't see myself. I'll just see.
नहीं, हम we can see you. हाँ.
हाँ.
Now this is better.
This is better.
Second wave of corona time. All of us are aware that since last 14 months, March 2020, India and I will say the whole world is in lockdown. But especially we talk about India, it's, since March 2020, it's almost 14 months. Majority of us are in lockdown. And when we say are in lockdown, it's not about us, but they are the consequence of lockdowns are severe to Indian economy. So many of us or some of us have gone through some hardship time. Some of us may have lost some our near and dear one. So it's really hard time, difficult time. But look at this, the scenario to Indian economy. This last 14 months, the economic impacts are severe. India's economy has shattered in totality. 70% of MSME businesses are affected. Cities are deserted. So many workers in cities, they have moved back to their native place. And we were not expecting the second wave to be so severe, but the second wave is more dangerous than the first wave. And this time, the fear factor is more. So point is, when we say this MSMEs are affected, it affects on their business growth. So many MSMEs are struggling hard to keep their operations alive. They are not getting, they are unable to pay salaries to people on time. So when we say MSMEs are not doing fine, it really boils down to creating huge unemployment. So in last 14 months, we can say the biggest challenge in front of us is unemployment, and MSME is a major creator of employment in India. And we know MSME is a major contributor to GDP of India, or for that matter, any economy. And 1998 to 99% business falls under MSME. Those 1% on top level, they hardly create 8 to 10% of the employment, but 90% of the employments are created by MSME. And we are here to really look up at this MSME crisis. But before handing over the session to our speaker, we would like to brief about our company. My name is Subhash Tanwar. We are part of Success Consultancy, and Success Consultancy is actually all about revolves around helping MSME. We actually say in our vision is to promote nation building through team, collective, and collaborative success over an individual. And here it is our NGO to support MSME, startup, and entrepreneurs to help them to successful. When we say that, we know if we really create a support MSME ecosystem, support system to MSME, then only these people will be able to come out of the
Subhani
crisis
Indulo
they are going
Kosondi.
through. And our vision, this is our vision, but when we say mission, what is our mission? Our mission is to actually, we are telling to MSME businessmen, our mission is to make your business more simpler, enjoyable, and profitable. And how we can do this by as we are appealing or requesting MSME that you should focus on your core strength, and non-core areas you should outsource to business consultant. And here we say we support right people with right cause. When I say it's a new time, it's a hard time, and we all of us know MSMEs. There are so many challenges why MSMEs are going through hard time, because all this while our MSMEs are been doing business with their traditional, conventional, conservative, and orthodox way. But in order to cope up with the new challenges, MSME need to understand it's a time that they need to adapt to new situation, new technology. And when we follow the developed countries like Europe and US, there it's a trend that every MSME or every businessman, they have their own consultant, and consultant is nothing but like a third eye who always a kind of a give you a neutral and the real status. They say, see, when we are not well, we go to doctor and doctor advises on our health. Likewise, every business has its own health, and those business health need to be checked up. And in order to do your business health checkup, you need to have a consultant. So this is just brief about, and we have a great team of 10 to 12 people. One of our team members are here. They have joined this webinar. Uh, Mr. Ripal Doshi, he's been working in MSME space from last 10, 15 years. His consultancy company has trained more than 10,000 entrepreneurs across the world. We have Jaideep Pawar, who is a Oxford graduate, and a lot of other dignitaries. So now I'll actually introduce about our today's speaker, Mr. Krishan Khanna. Mr. Krishan Khanna, to brief about him, he is a legendary person in India. He's a 1961 IIT Kharagpur graduate. He was a topper in his area, and after his pass out, he had a scholarship to go to MIT and Harvard and other prestigious university in USA. But he chose to work in Germany at a manufacturing company. So he has a great experience around the world. His worldwide travel and experience in handling 13 joint ventures and business partnership with organizations from the USA, Canada, Brazil, UK, Germany, Iran, China, Korea, Taiwan, Japan, and so many other countries. So he has around total 32 years of corporate experience. And when he was in 1992, when he was at the peak of his career, he decided to take retirement from the corporate life, but he has pursued his passion to transform India. So he is the founder and chairman of an organization called as iWatch. So, and I'll just brief about Mr. Krishan Khanna was a part of a CII, FICCI. He was part of a Prime Minister's task force in the area of skill developments and employment generations planning commission. He is the person who is a instrumental in changing this nomenclature from SSI, small scale industry, to MSME. So he is known as the MSME Guru of India. He was part of Ministry of HRD and Wealth. He was part of Planning Commission, IGNU, All India Council for Technical Educations. So there are so many, he was closely associated with Government of India, and he was part of, I would say, virtually to every ministry. So we would like to really, and I have been associated with Mr. Krishan Khanna from last 5 years, and he's been actually doing contribution in every area of MSME in India, may it be agricultural, manufacturing, education, health. So without taking much of your time, I would request our today's speaker, Mr. Krishan Khanna ji, to enlighten us about the current crisis, today's situation of MSME, and how we can really move forward, and how we can really help this country to come out of this crisis. So I thank you all, and I hand over our session to Krishan Khanna sir. Krishan Khanna sir, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Subhashji. That was a very good introduction. I'm quite flattered. But let's get back to the subject on hand. Actually, I just wanted to inform the enlightened group on certain basic aspects of MSMEs, because this is a very misunderstood subject in India. And actually, the big boys call it the unorganized sector. They think they are organized, but they only control about 7% of the employment and about 20% of the GDP, because most of the big boys, they subcontract most of their work to the MSMEs. So it is unfortunate that this is so, and the reason is because of the labor unions. The labor unions, 7 important labor unions, they concentrate on the organized, so-called organized sector, which is public sector and private sector. And those companies are listed on the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, because they are either public limited or private limited companies. MSMEs mostly are proprietary companies and partnerships. And nobody knows, unfortunately, after 74 years of independence, nobody knows where our MSMEs are, what they do. They are not registered and they are not classified. And that is a big disadvantage to the MSMEs. I will explain that in detail as we go along. Actually, in 2004-5, when Atalji was the Prime Minister, we were able to convince him through FICCI that we should change Ministry of SSI into Ministry of MSME. The reason is that the service sector was not included. And as you know, the service sector even today is nearly 3 times bigger than the manufacturing sector. That legacy is still continuing. If you go to the Ministry of MSME website, you'll find that they have a lot of schemes for manufacturing. They have practically nothing for service sector, and they don't care also, and which is very sad because the service sector today all over the world is a big driving force, and it has been neglected by the MSMEs, Ministry of MSME. So coming back to the subject on hand, uh, just to give you an overview, worldwide, because we have studied more than 60, 70 countries in the world, especially European Union, America, Japan, Brazil, South Africa, the BRIC countries, China, and we have got a lot of data, which is partly mentioned in our handbook called Transforming Bharat, and we publish it in 12 Indian languages. The Marathi copy is with Subhashji, but we have it also in Hindi, English, and other languages. 92 to 91 to 92% all businesses in the world are micro companies, and about 6 to 7% are small, and about 1 or 2% are medium, and less than half percent are large. That is the general breakup worldwide. Everybody starts from micro, one man show, whether it was Dhirubhai Ambani, whether it was Munjal who started Hero Motor, he started a cycle repair workshop in Delhi. If you read the history of any company, it is always a one man show or a group of people like Infosys. 7 of them got together in a bedroom in Pune and they started Infosys. And you know where it is today. It has become a large multinational. So the issue on hand is, which is very sad because the government of India is busy concentrating on irrelevant issues. I'll just give you one example. A few months ago, the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Home and the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, they came out with uh, a gazette that any NGO who has to function in India has to register themselves by 1st of April with the CBDT and Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Now, you know, there are 3.3 million NGOs, and actually active NGOs are hardly 1 million. But I'm just taking the overall figure because many NGOs have been created just to siphon black money into white money. They are not really doing any NGO work. It's just money circulating up and down. But let's take the figure of 3.1 million NGOs. They have to register with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. We have registered on 7th of April, our foundation. And another circular has come that if you want to financially operate your NGO, you have to re-register with the income tax department. You have to apply for 80G renewal certificate. You have to apply for, previously it was 12AA, it is called now 12BB, 12AB by 30th of June. So we are in the process of applying. All that is very good. But what about the 200 million MSMEs where so much money is going up and down? If you look at the MSMEs anywhere in India, there's a lot of cash transaction taking place. In fact, MSME is a great place to park your cash because nobody knows where these MSMEs are and nobody knows what they are doing. So it's very difficult to help the MSMEs when they are not registered and when they are not classified. Just to give you one point of data, although the Ministry of MSME, by virtue of the passing the bill in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha in 2005 came into existence, the definition of MSMEs was only finally, after a lot of discussion, it was only finally the government only promulgated that in June, July 2020. Means after 15 years, they said that MSMEs up to 5 crore is micro, up to 15 crore it is small, and 75 crores, and 250 crore is medium. It took them 15 years to define the size of an MSME. It just shows how much importance is given or no importance is given to the MSME sector. And also in India, there is no one organization which knows what is happening. Between the Ministry of MSME and the Ministry of uh, MOSPI, which is Ministry of Statistics and Project Implementation, they are trying to locate the MSMEs by sampling method. It's a joke. MOSPI has 172 sampling centers in India. So they go to the market, they do a sampling survey, अरे इधर में कितना दुकान है, क्या है, and then they try to some mathematical formula, try to find out about MSMEs. This is the biggest joke, and nobody knows what the MSMEs are doing. And on the other hand, I'll give you an example of Germany, that unlike India, where the Ministry of Corporate Affairs has 22 offices in India to catalog public limited and private limited companies and LLPs, there is no office to regulate, classify, and register MSMEs in India. It is an optional subject of the Ministry of MSME. If you want to register, you register. If you don't want to register, you don't register. It's all right. And that is not a way to run the country. I'll just give you an example of Germany because I've lived and worked there. In Germany, there are 144 offices to classify and register MSMEs. If you're not registered, you cannot operate. You cannot go to the bank and open an account if you're not a registered MSME with the Chamber of Commerce. There are 3 chambers of commerce in Germany. The total number of membership of MSME in Germany is 40 lakhs. I'm repeating the number. There are 40 lakh registrations of MSMEs in Germany alone, which has a population of 8 crores. And in India, it's free for all. And what are these 3 chambers? One is IHK, which registers manufacturing and service sector. The second is on professionals. Professionals means doctors, lawyers, accountants, consultants, architects. There's a whole list. In India, nobody knows. I know doctors in Bombay who don't take checks and don't take credit card. They only want cash. And they show loss. They show that they are losing money. They all have big cars, big flats. They have credit cards. They have foreign trips and everything. So this tamasha is going on. And the third chamber represents all artisans and all craftsmen, welders, plumbers, carpenters, etc. There's a whole list. There are 160 types of craftsmen which are registered. The reason is that nearly 10% of the German economy is controlled by artisans and craftsmen, and nearly 10% is controlled by professionals. So 20% of the economy, and that is all over the world, about 20% of the economy is controlled by professionals and by craftsmen, and 80% is controlled by manufacturing and service sector. So this 20% is all having a great holiday in India for the last 75 years. And in the manufacturing and service sector also, the companies don't want to register. And because cash में है तो tax में नहीं देने का है, अच्छा है, छुट्टी होएगा. But you see, they don't realize that they can not grow. And I'll just give you 1 or 2 examples. I was having a long conversation with my German friends yesterday in Germany. And they were saying, how can we improve the the MSMEs in Germany, they were asking me. I said the only way you can increase MSMEs in Germany is that you tie up with MSMEs in India. You make in India the manufacturing hub. He says we have tried for the last 20 years, but we do not know where the MSMEs in India are. We do not know how they are classified. Because if I'm dealing in a certain sector of the economy, I'm looking for partners in that section. I'll give you an example. If you're in the foundry sector, you want to know what is happening in the foundry sector in India. Or if you are manufacturing furniture, you want to know who are the furniture manufacturers in India. It's not known. So when those delegations come to India, they just come and go away. They can't find their partners because they go to CII, they go to FICCI. CII में 15,000 मेंबर है, FICCI में 4,000 है, एसोचैम में 750 है, PhD चैम्बर इन दिल्ली में भी 2-3 हजार है, बॉम्बे में इंडियन मर्चेंट चैम्बर में 2-3 हजार है. So they don't nobody really represents the MSME sector, and it is all scattered. And people like Subhashji uh, and his group are doing a fantastic job, but I think they have got a lot of obstacles. So my earnest plea to Subhashji and his group was, and also to the esteemed members of this group, that somehow we have to persuade the government of India that they have forced the NGOs to be registered. But what about MSMEs? Because MSMEs, if they have to grow, they have to become world class. You may be saving tax. Okay, it's very good you save tax, but you will not grow. You will not be able to compete in the international market. Economics of scale will not be in your favor. And I gave the example yesterday to Subhashji, I'll just repeat. Many years ago, about 25 years ago, the then Minister of Steel, he said the way for India to go is for mini steel plants. So they financed about nearly 20,000 crores for starting mini steel plants, very small steel plants. Now, a steel plant is not economical in the world economy if you don't have a minimum capacity of 5 million tons, preferably 10 million tons. Because I visited the largest steel plants in the world all over, and they all failed. They all closed down because once the import duty was reduced from 300% to 10-20%, all these mini steel plants collapsed. Even that Halwai in Delhi, he also started a mini steel plant. The biggest Halwai in Delhi, he said, इधर हम जलेबी बनाते हैं, उधर हम लोखंड बनाएगा. उसमें क्या फर्क है? भट्टी में बनाने का है. This is the attitude. So the question is, we are playing with the lives of our people. We are playing with the Indian economy. We are not coming in line with the world economy. Even today, our GDP is very small in the world. Our exports are less than 1% of the world exports. And our GDP is just about $3 trillion in a 80 trillion world economy. So the question is, MSMEs is the heart of the economy, because every business in the world starts as an MSME. But somehow we have not given importance to MSMEs. And we started with new terms like Startup India, make India and all that. But everything starts with MSMEs. In Europe, they teach in the universities. We have 60,000 colleges in India, and we have 23 IITs, and I do not know how many IIMs. They don't teach you anything about MSMEs. They should teach you about MSMEs in those colleges, because they want to talk of entrepreneurship, but they don't want to teach about MSMEs. Everything starts with MSME. So there is a whole disconnect in India between education, MSMEs. There's a whole, this is a very big subject, and I just want to end here, and I would like to keep this open session, because I think a lot of very interesting facts will come when people go in for question and answers. So Subhaji, with your permission and with the host, I would like to thank you once again for inviting me. I'm giving you very general idea. I just want to conclude that if India has to succeed, we have to register all MSMEs and we have to classify them. And the classification has to be as per the international classification, which the Ministry of Commerce and Customs and Excise and all are following. We have to do that. Then what will happen, that even if MSMEs are getting sick, supposing that I am a garment manufacturer and my children are not interested to run the company, so the company will definitely collapse after I am gone. So what happens in those countries, You know all the garment manufacturers in that country. So you start writing letters to them. The bank writes letter to them that there is this company ABC. Their owner is not interested to continue after 2 3 years. Are you interested to buy these assets? He doesn't make an advertisement in the newspaper in Times of India or in Maharashtra Times or something. It's a joke, you know. So then those people say, "अरे यार, इसके पास तो इतना machinery है, customer है, इसको let us buy." Then they negotiate. So before that company becomes sick, it is transferred. But in India, you can't do it. You don't know who the hell they are. You do not know where they are. So there are a lot of such examples I can give you that the MSMEs are destroying themselves and the economy by not registering and also by trying to be extra smart and just dealing in cash. If you're going to be dealing in cash, you cannot grow. You have to come back to the formal economy. As I was saying, if you are making 100 rupees per year and you're very happy, or if you're making 50 lakhs a year and you're very happy, but if you want to make 50 crores, you have to grow. It doesn't matter. You make 50 crores, you have a profit of 10 crores, you pay 2.5 crores tax, you still make 7.5 crores profit. So the question is, if you have to grow, you have to pay tax. The country needs your tax. And there are at least 20 articles in my book about MSMEs. And I would request the group here, you can buy it in Hindi or Marathi or English, because that will really give you much more insight than what I'm trying to tell you. But there I've given the comparison of MSMEs in Europe, which is 37 countries, in China, which is our biggest competitor, and in other countries. So with that, I would like to just end, and I would be happy to take any questions from this esteemed group. Thank you.
Krishan
So,
Khanna sir, thank you so much for enlightening us. Uh, just a second, so thank you. And just to brief about Mr. Khanna ji, he is a 82-year-old man, but his energy can give a chase for money to any entrepreneurs in 40s. So and at this age, he's such a enthusiastic and full of energy, and he really want to see MSME in this country are growing. Before handing over, in fact, I have forgot to introduce my other partner in a success consultancy. Unmesh Bagwe is my business partner. He is from Vijay with 30 years of corporate experience. He was having his own company in Europe. He has worked for 17 years in L&T and around 5 years in Italy, having his own manufacturing unit. So, and I have around 20-25 years experience in corporate. But for the next question and answer session, I will hand over to Unmesh so that we can mainly make this session more interactive, and we can take the questions from the audience. Thank you. Over to you, Unmesh.
thank you, Subhash, and thank you, Krishanji. Am I audible?
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
It was very enlightening beginning of the session and the experience of lot many years which Kishanji brought in this session is very important. And he insisted yesterday only when we had a talk, pre-session talk, that the session should be more interactive, and that's why I I will appreciate the August gathering here, that if they can ask the questions which will probe, which will reveal more enlightening facts in front of us. Basically, one point which we missed is that we are working for, and we are working in MSME sector for last 6 months with the initiative to bring to connect the dots in the MSME sector. And the current crisis, we have decided that we should have a dialogue series where the entrepreneurs can come and have a discussion with the fellow members. That is the whole motive of this MSME crisis dialogue series. And Kishanji accepted the request to be the first speaker and in the inaugural session. Before going to the questions, you can ask the questions in the chat box, or you can just raise the hand so that I can unmute them, or they can unmute themselves and ask a question. But before going to the question answer session, I will begin with first question to Kishanji. is that yes, you mentioned about the importance of registration and the way we are not falling in line with the world standards. My point is the current crisis. I will like you to highlight some areas where the current crisis is threatening the mere existence of the MSMEs and how they have to tackle. You can just uh, have an overview of the current economic crisis, and then we can take up the questions. Please.
Yes, it's a very good question. You see, the thing is this, that in the current crisis, in any MSME, the owner is a one-man show normally. He is supposed to be knowing marketing, he is supposed to be knowing finance, he is supposed to know HR, labor laws, exports, marketing, distribution. He can't do it. This one man cannot be expert of everything. Mostly they are people who are either good in finance, because then they can get a good bank loan, or they are good in manufacturing. But in other, so there's the missing link is this, that in other countries, number one, all the MSMEs are registered. Then they are classified. I will just give you one example. Supposing you are classified also. If you are classified, then in that sector, you form an association. You form an association. For example, if you are in the furniture manufacturing business, you form an association. And there also, in furniture manufacture, if I give you the classification, you'll be surprised. There are 35 classifications. For example, stainless steel furniture is a separate classification. Cast iron furniture, separate classification. Wooden furniture, separate classification. Plastic furniture, separate classification. Why? Because सबका problem अलग है. जो लकड़ी का फर्नीचर बनाता है उसका प्रॉब्लम स्टेनलेस स्टील फर्नीचर से कोई लेना देना नहीं है. So then what happens, they get together and they go and tell the Ministry of Commerce कि हमारे ये problems है, आप हमारे problem को sort out करो. I've been to hundreds of meetings of CII, FICCI, ASSOCHAM, PhD Chamber, IMC, Bombay Chamber of Commerce, Maratha Chamber. It is a मेला. उधर वो बॉल बेरिंग वाला बैठा है, उधर में गारमेंट वाला बैठा है, उधर में फार्मा वाला बैठा है, उधर में कोई रबर प्रोडक्ट बना रहा है. They're all shouting with their notes कि भी हमारा ये प्रॉब्लम है. वो प्रेसिडेंट बोलता है अच्छा भी let us have a coffee break, tea break, समोसा खाएंगे, उसके बाद में बात करेंगे. After that he says अच्छा you give me your papers, I will see what I can do. What can he do? He can't do anything. Even the government ministers, they take all those documents, but 99% they can't handle it because it is so confusing. So the question is this, that if we really want to help MSMEs, they have to first of all help themselves. They have to come out, get organized, and they have to classify. And in each classification, there has to be an All India association. The Chamber of Commerce in India is really a tamasha. It is a legacy of the license Raj. Because if you look at, I've been a member of 8 chambers in India, 4 in Delhi and 4 in Bombay. I've resigned from all. Even CII, I have told them that if you want my membership, I can only pay you. I'm a retired person. I am not in any company. I'm running on my personal capacity. So if you want, I will join. If you don't want me to join, I am not interested. Because if you see, they do not talk to each other. FICCI will not talk to CII. CII will not talk to Bombay Chamber. Bombay Chamber will not talk to Indian Merchant Chamber. सबका अपना अपना ईगो है. सब लोग ने आज प्रेसिडेंट मैं बना हूं तो अगले साल मेरे मेंबर का लड़का बन जाएगा, उसके बाद में वो लड़का बन जाएगा. It is like a family affair. It's like a dynastic rule in most of these chambers. Very few chambers have got national issues. I have talked to all of them, and that is a very sad thing. So the government has to take this initiative. People like you have to take this initiative with the state government. I mean, I've had a lot of meetings with Mr. Subhash Desai. He knows me very well. I know him for more than 10 years now. And everywhere he says, अगर MSME का बात करने का है तो तुम कृष्ण खन्ना से बात करो. अरे बाबा, आप मिनिस्टर हैं, हम आपको बोल रहे हैं क्या करने का है. You are not taking the decisions. So the question is this, that it is MSME has become a big joke. We are not taking it seriously. The country is suffering, employment is suffering, our export competitiveness is suffering, our product quality is suffering. And actually, it's the good MSMEs who are struggling. The good MSMEs, who are really struggling. Either they are vendors to large companies who are exporting, or they are exporting directly. So there are a lot of all of these issues, which have not been handled in the last 74 years. For example, the three pillars of any economy, according to me: number one, education; number two, skill building; number three, MSMEs. School education. Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee in year 2000, he realized, he read out the constitution in the parliament. He says education compulsory hona chahiye. So he started what is known as Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. कि जो भी बच्चा 14 साल तक है, he has to be in school. So they started Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan 53 years after independence, because the Congress party never wanted education. They wanted people to be uneducated. क्योंकि वोट बैंक उधर ही होता है. बंगाल में भी वही है. Vote bank is uneducated people, or religion is the vote bank. Then the new education policy which has come out in 2020, last year, is the proper education policy. It blends education with skill building, and it starts from the age of 2. The reason is, we have been writing to the government for many years that 90% of the human brain is developed by the age of 6. So education between 2 to 6, which is pre-primary, जिसको kindergarten बोलते हैं, which is a German word. Kinder is German in child, and Garten in German means garden. So KG is actually a German word. Why Germany is so good, or France, Italy, or Japan, Korea? Because their education system is remarkable. And as I said, in German colleges, they are teaching what is an MSME. They start teaching you in college, because they say if you want to start your own business, or if you want to do anything, because 60% of the people in India even today are self-employed. उनको डिग्री का जरूरत नहीं है. उनको MSME के बारे में सिखाते तो this country would have been different. Skill building, we went to Modi ji before he became Prime Minister. Suresh Prabhu took me to Modi ji just for 10 seconds in March 2014. And I said, उनको मैंने अपना गुजराती में किताब दिया, जो मैंने सुभाष जी को मराठी में दिया है. मैं कहा साहब, ये स्किल बिल्डिंग के बारे में आप कुछ करिए. 60,000 कॉलेज है इंडिया में, लेकिन स्किल्स का कोई बात नहीं करता. सब लोग डिग्रीज का बात करते हैं. एंड 5,000 ITIs है. ये सर आप चिंता नहीं करिए, मैंने आपका किताब पहले भी पढ़ा है हिंदी और इंग्लिश में. हम प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनेंगे तो हम मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ स्किल जरूर चालू करेंगे. एंड ट्रू टू हिज वर्ड, for the first time in India in 2014 November, means after 67 years of independence, we started Ministry of Skill. But even today, the mindset of the people is to get a degree. All my maid servants and all, they said हम अपना लड़के को डिग्री दिलाएगा. क्यों? शादी नहीं होएगा. तो शादी का तैयारी कर रहा है. अरे बाबा, पैसा कमाने को नहीं होगा तो शादी करके क्या करेगा? So this is what I'm saying. There's a huge issue of mindset, education, skill building, MSMEs. Everywhere is a similar thing. We're trying to force the old issues. So coming back to your question, the question is this, that we are not organized. We have to get organized. People like you are doing a fantastic job, because when the MSME has problem, as I started with this question, he will not understand so many things. He may not understand marketing, distribution, HR, labor. So that is where people, you and your experts, come and help the MSMEs. The MSMEs who are talking to people like you are benefiting. The people who are trying to do everything on their own, वो लोग मर रहे, because they don't want to pay that 2 rupees to the consultant. They say यार वो consultant में क्या, हम अपने आप कर लेगा. So I think it is going to take a long time for the people to understand that they can't do everything alone. They have to work with experts like you. And I want to again mention that you guys are doing a fantastic job. You have taken the right subject in the last 6 years to help MSMEs. And I hope more MSMEs come to you for that help, and they will benefit. You will benefit, of course, and the nation will benefit. Next question.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think Tarun Agarwal has raised his hand. Can you unmute yourself, Tarun?
Yeah. I really like some things you are saying. I wanted to ask about, that, So what are the numbers at which an association begins to matter, and what are the numbers at which an association can actually matter, let us say, enough to change national policies or to change their stature in the country. Like you mentioned some figures of FICCI, CII, IMC, what are their memberships and all, what's the membership base they have. And I think that is too little for things to be shaken up nationally. What do you think?
No, their numbers are quite good, but their intentions are not there. You see, I had a lot of meetings with Tarun Das, who was the chief mentor of CII. And I'm talking about 20 years ago, 25 years ago, because he put me on that committee of small scale in SSI, and then we became MSME. Then he put me on the membership committee. That means national committees. I have never been a member of regional and state committees. It's a waste of time, according to me, because I'm thinking on a national scale. So I told Tarun Das कि आप CII का सब कुछ इंग्लिश में है और MSME is the jaan of this nation. So if you really want more members, you have to convert your website into 12 major Indian languages. I said, look at our foundation, family run foundation. We do everything in 12 languages. All my literature is in 12 languages. You know what he said? He said, CII is run by JJ Irani, Rahul Bajaj and Jamshed Godrej. He says they will never agree to this Indian language tamasha. He said if the people come in a dhoti kurta, we will throw them out of the meeting. This is CII. So उन लोग का ऐसा mindset है. So the question is not the numbers. Number is there. They can make a lot of big change. But उन लोग का intention ही नहीं है. They want to run it like a club. They want to retain power. I have talked to all of them separately. And उन लोग का intention ही नहीं है कि भाई हमको कुछ measure करने का है. And they don't like to talk to each other. And in fact, I have, according to Amitabh Kant, who is the chief executive officer of Niti Aayog, everybody in Niti Aayog knows me, all the members, Rajiv Kumar and all. So Amitabh Kant has told me, not today, 4 years ago, he says, Krishan, tum log ka sala jo research hai on MSMEs, I showed him the research. I've got MSME research and 2,000-3,000 pages. He said, nobody in India has got that research. किसी को interest ही नहीं है. How can I help you? Ministry of Commerce must take interest. Ministry of MSME must take interest. He said, but I can tell you कि आपके पास जो ये है, आप CII के पास जाइए. मैंने कहा, they are not interested, therefore I've come to you. He said, if they are not interested, हम क्या करेंगे? I'll be fighting a losing battle. If FICCI and CII, PhD chamber and ASSOCHAM, which are in Delhi, they are in direct touch with the central government ministries. और वो सारे लोग को इंटरेस्ट नहीं है तो हम अकेला क्या करेगा? I can only go through them, na. Only Niti Aayog is like a dog barking in the wilderness. So the problem is, उधर में देखिए ego बहुत है. We keep on blaming the secretaries, government of India. Ego है, ये है. अरे but हमारे जो chambers हैं, उनका भी बहुत ego है. The numbers are there. Numbers are there. If they want, they can take it up. The second thing is they don't want that a small. I mean, I'll give you one example of FICCI. When we were trying to change SSI to MSME, Mr. Amit Mitra was the Secretary General of FICCI. He is now the Finance Minister of West Bengal. Rajendra Lodha was the President. He's passed away. He was a big chartered accountant. He does the Lodha and Company is a very large chartered accounting company. He fell in love with our work. And you know what FICCI Secretary General told? He says, "साहब छोटा सा NGO है, 5 आदमी उधर काम करता है, आप उनका बात सुन रहा है, उनका सब ये बोगस इन्फॉर्मेशन आपको बेवकूफ बना रहा है. ये देखिए हमारा सेक्रेटेरिएट FICCI में इधर 150 आदमी है. Please don't get involved with iWatch or Krishan Khanna." So then Rajendra Lodha came to me. He said, "वो तो तुम्हारा ये suggestion MSME का तो उसने black ball कर दिया है, reject." I said, don't worry. I'm used to rejection, but I don't give up. I said, you go to Mr. Memani. He is the chairman of Ernst and Young Finance. You give him a project. He said, हाँ उससे मैंने बात किया वो 20 लाख रुपया मांगता है to make a report on MSMEs. I said, you pay. हमारा information आपको free मिला है, so you have no value. So you went to Memani. Memani copied our report. We had done a survey on 8 or 9 countries. He did survey of 20 countries. And actually the websites were the same. He can't change the website. He charged 20 lakhs. My report was free. And then he made 200 copies, nicely bound with gold lettering, gave it to all the members. They read it. They said, "Ah, ye to karne ka hai." After that, Amit Matra I became his worst enemy. He told his people, "If Krishnan Khanna aayega to see that he doesn't bring any papers inside this building." वो आता है तो कुछ influence कर देता है हम लोग को. So what I'm telling you, it is not the size of the association. In spite of that, we were able to push MSME. In spite of Mr. Amit Mitra, in spite of all the hurdles we've had, we have managed to push it. And we are pushing constantly. We are writing hundreds of letters every month, hard copies. Because email koi padhta nahi hai. If I send an email to any secretary or minister, the PA will delete it. Because PA kahega ye kaun hai ye aadmi. So now what I am doing is when I send an email, I write in the beginning, you can get my reference from Mr. Suresh Prabhuji or from Mr. Kishan Reddy. Mr. Kishan Reddy is the Minister of Home Affairs. He is below Amit Shah. He knows me for the last 30 years. So does Suresh Prabhuji. So उनका नाम पढ़ते हैं तो then they show the email to their boss. तो ये तो हालत है government में. It's not the numbers. The whole mindset of the country is going in the wrong direction. We want all band-aid solutions. ये जल्दी से करो. ये 70 साल नहीं हुआ तो can we do it in 1 month? Can we do it in 2 months? Can we make this country into a 10 trillion economy in 2 years time? ये सब फजूल का बात है. Education अभी हुआ है, skill building अभी हुआ है. MSMEs, unless we put the house in order, this country is not going to become 5 trillion or 10 trillion dollar economy. It's all dream, it's all talk, Like Kejriwal, he talks, on every channel in India, he's talking every day. He's spending money. I've got all the details. How much money he spends, average 30, 40, 50 crores a year on advertisement. In the last 4-5 years, he spent more than 200-300 crores. And वो साला ऑक्सीजन प्लांट लगाने के लिए बोलता है मेरे पास पैसा नहीं. So mindset is the issue. Thank you.
If there is any question, please unmute your mic and speak. Otherwise, I will like to invite Shankarji Sharma, but I will wait for one more question if there.
Umesh, there was one question in chat box. I think you can read that question as well.
हाँ जी.
Okay, I will read that question and then we will go to the next question. And if there is no question, then we will invite Sharmaji. The question, sir, if it is audible, sir, Krishanji, with such a grim situation at government level, how to go about bringing together and organizing MSME? Can we start a organizing body for the registration of MSMEs as per categories? That is the question.
That is your question, is it?
Yeah, the question asked in the chat by Chandrasekhar Jagtap, with such a grim situation at government level, how to go about bringing together and organizing MSMEs? Can we start an organizing body to register?
You see, the question is this. It is good if you can influence one of the chambers of commerce in Maharashtra, either in Pune or in Bombay, to align what we are talking, because what happens that these people only listen. I mean, I'm telling you something which Pramod Mahajan used to tell me when I started my foundation. He said, तुम इतना छोटा है कि हम लोग तुम्हारा ideas बहुत अच्छा है, but you don't have the numbers. He said, if you have the numbers, we will come down from Mantralaya on the road and talk to you, So the question is this, unless you have the numbers, trying to start something on your own or a small group, it will not cut any ice. There are a lot of small associations which are working on MSMEs. At least there's a list of maybe 200-300 such chambers. but उन लोग का क्या objective है, I really don't know. I have talked to some of them. They are trying to help MSMEs who become their member, but it is more on finance and trying to get them loans and all that. But MSME problem is beyond finance. They have a lot of issues on joint venture, on R&D, on technology, on HR, etc., etc. So I think just starting trying to develop or invent the wheel at this stage will be wrong. I think if anything, I've talked to Subhashji also. We need to, if you can convince with your experience, knowledge, network, if you can convince some of these existing chambers, or you get some influential people involved with you who can push them. कैसे भी ठीक है आपका जो काम चल रहा है but on MSME have a special thrust area that I think will work faster. And you trying to make a association and all that, you see India में क्या है, there are 371 political parties and every day some political party is being formed, but what can they do? They're too small, they don't have financial resources, the numbers are not there. वो ego है आदमी का भी, हमने political party चालू कर दी, but that is not enough. So my humble suggestion would be, don't start to make another association. Existing association को आप somehow if you can transfer their thought process, you will be more successful. Thank you.
Very, very true. There is one more question which I will like to take is from Kiranjit Kaur. Delayed payments. Delayed payments has been a grave issue for the MSMEs with reference to finance. Then, will the stimulus package be sufficient to bring the MSMEs out of pandemic-driven crisis?
You see, this again goes back to my first question. You see, the government has issued number of circulars that MSMEs have to be paid in so many days, you know. And in fact, for the PSUs, they are forced that certain percentage of their purchase has to be from MSMEs. But MSMEs are not together. They are not united. They are like the political parties. सबका अपना अपना इकट्ठे ही नहीं है. The MSMEs are not registered. They are not united. They have not formed associations. They have no उनका कोई वो नहीं है, power नहीं है to represent or to fight. They are all scattered. When the problem comes, they start shouting, but they don't want to unite. They should all MSMEs to see that they are registered and they form associations. Then that association, if they write to Piyush Goyal, Ministry of Commerce में, or to Nirmala Sitharaman, that will have some value. वो है ही नहीं ना. All MSMEs are like the political parties. they सब लोग अपना अपना घंटी बजा रहे हैं, सब लोग अपना अपना गाना गा रहे हैं. They are not on a national scale. Nothing is united. So they are only making themselves very weak. उनको problem होता है, they start shouting, but to prepare for the problem, they are not ready.
Very true. And
I hope I've been able to.
yeah, you have been. There are thank yous coming in the chat boxes. So it is on the target, and you are really connecting the dots. If there is no question, I will like to invite Shankarji Sharma. And are you online, sir? Yeah, Shankar Sharma ji. You can voice your opinion, but be limited in the time because we are already covered 1 hour. You can unmute yourself, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Gentlemen, I really do not know anything about MSME. I'm very sorry.
Monkeys there, darling.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm hearing you. Thank you.
Yeah. Only thing is that today we are all, and the country itself is suffering with coronavirus. Okay. So I have a very simple formulation that is using haldi powder. It is turmeric, which contains curcumin plus black pepper and also colloidal silver. They should give a major thrust in curing the varieties of coronavirus. That's all.
Thank you very much.
Colloidal silver, India Mart. and we can buy it online also.
Very kind advice. I will just request you to just type if you can in the chat box so that everybody will remember or can copy down. So if you can chat in the type down in the chat the formula which you said is very difficult to comprehend in the few seconds. May I go to next question, if any? Please unmute and ask the question, please.
Uh, I welcome Mr. Subodh Kumar ji. It's it is quite
Yet to get connected.
honor to have him, sir. We have been since it's almost 1 hour, but it is a great session on MSME crisis by Krishan Khanna ji. So, sir, you are welcome to this group, and it is very enlightening. And we are talking about where is the MSME stands today, and how we can how we can take it to the next level, because MSMEs are a major contributor to GDP. So, thank you, Subodh Kumar ji, joining the session. To brief about Mr. Subodh Kumar ji is a secretary to Ministry of Petroleum, and there is a project by Petroleum Ministry that in another couple of years, Government of India want to have 5,000 CNG plants, and this can be taken to a 25,000 CNG plants. And the current scenario is there are only 15 operational CNG plants. So from 15 to 25,000, there is a long journey ahead, and Government of India is going to support in totality from the finance point of view, from technical point of view. Just to brief about Subodh Kumar ji, and we are already actually we had a session 3 days back about the future of bio CNG. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, next.
Yeah, Subodh Kumar ji, it will be pleasure if you can speak for a few minutes.
Thank you, sir. Are you able to listen to me?
Yeah, we are able to.
Achha, okay. Thank you very much, sir. I'm extremely sorry I missed the message. So I remembered till last evening I was remembering it. Somehow there were a few telephone calls in the morning, I missed it. So I'm extremely sorry for joining late. But MSME, as Mr. Tanwar was saying, it is a backbone of our economy. Majority of the employment and the GDP is coming from this sector, and we should be all of us should be helping. In fact, Government of India has come out with several policies to help MSME, but unfortunately ground realities are slightly different. So when I was working in the Indian Oil Corporation as executive director, so we used to follow the policies of Government of India, giving the preference to MSME sector. And now you may be, all of us are aware of that, up to 200 crore of contracts are to be given to the local industries, and there are certain limits and certain segments are reserved for the MSME. In fact, we used to face some problems also, because I will give you one example. We were procuring barrels for our lubricant, and one fine morning it was kept in the MSME sector, and there was no MSME vendor ready to supply that product that time. So we had struggled a lot for almost 2 years to develop vendor in that segment and all. So anyway, but Government of India has come out with a good policies. Only thing is that coordination, I don't know, means MSME sector, when they coordinate through a ministry that is there. But India has 240 public sector, then railways and other things are there. Apart from that, a lot of private industries are there. I think the direct coordination, at least I'm not aware of that any MSME body was dealing directly with Indian Oil Corporation or Bharat Petroleum, Hindustan Petroleum, the oil sector I'm talking about. At least I'm not aware of that, though I was involved in not many projects, but it was not there. So some kind of coordination with the large scale sectors, the bigger scale sectors, and MSME should be there. That is what immediately comes to my mind. And then I'm open to other discussions also. So thank you very much for giving me a chance to speak.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. See, what I learned from Mr. Krishan Khanna and Subodh Kumar ji saying, government has formulated a good policy for MSME, but what is really important is kind of a this MSME as an organizations, and this MSME registering themselves with the government of India, because as Krishan Khanna ji said, MSMEs are not registering themselves, they are not organizing, and really the root cause of all this, really what we are facing in India is the we need to shift. The changing of mindset is the root cause. People need to shift, shifting of mindset. Unless our mindset is not changed, we were discussing with Krishan Karnaji said, people, MSME, they start couple of more companies to siphon off the taxes. But one should understand, if you really want to grow, if you want to become big, you have to pay taxes. Because if you have, if you are running away from paying taxes, you can't grow. And when you pay taxes, you are eligible for all the bounties, for all the facilities, subsidies by the bank and government of India. So what is really important, we need to really work on changing the and shifting the mindset of MSMEs. There are 200 million MSMEs in India, but I don't know how many of them are really registered with MSME. That's also a big question mark. So yes, there are challenges, but especially post Corona, people have realized that yes, the world post corona is a different place than the world before post corona, and if, in order to survive and be in the existence, they need to adopt certain changes. If not, otherwise there are so big companies like Nokia, we have seen so many companies going obsolete. So if they really want to see coming forward, and they don't want to extinguish from this market, people have to come forward and start creating a organization and registering with the state and the central MSME. And I'm sure with the support of Krishan Khanna ji and Subodh Kumar ji, we are actually forming a team, and we are really working hard to create awareness, and we are trying to reach as many MSME as possible and trying to create the awareness. Yeah, sir. Over to you, Unmesh.
Yeah, just there is no question and there are no hands raised. So I will just request Kishanji to have the concluding remarks.
Yeah,
If you can
certainly,
conclude, then
Umesh.
yeah, please.
You see,
Yeah,
the
please.
concluding remark is very simple. Number one, we have to have 100% compulsory registration of all MSMEs in India, because money is flowing through them. They are not doing all this on charity. If the government has asked all NGOs to be registered forcibly by June end of this year, why they have not similarly said that all MSMEs, if they want bank loan or if they want electricity connection, water connection, they have to be registered? Why aren't they saying it, So that is the first thing, compulsory registration. Second thing is compulsory classification. As I said, we do not know who the furniture manufacturers are in India. We can't help them. In my last meeting with Piyush Goyal in his office when he was officiating as finance minister, he was kind enough to give me half an hour to meet him in his office. And I said, Piyush ji, देखिए आपके ऑफिस में इतना फर्नीचर है. You are also the commerce minister. Can you give me a list of furniture manufacturers in India? He asked his people, his staff. He said, नहीं साहब पता नहीं, 2-3 है, Godrej है, ये एक दो, 1 or 2 big companies they named. But 95% of the furniture is made by small micro units. Nobody knows who they are. So classification is something which we have to do, because if we want to help them and if we want to help the country and if we want to help exports, I told him, I said, this is what happens in Germany. The commerce minister calls the furniture guys, for example, and says, "Aapko how to double or triple your export?" And they only talk about their own problem. They don't talk about ball bearings or pharma or garment and all that. So it is a very focused. And the third thing, which is very important, that we need to not only register and classify our MSMEs, we also need to create this awareness about the importance of MSMEs. And we must start teaching what is MSME. What in the colleges of India, there are 60,000 colleges, 60% of the people of India are self-employed. They do not know what is an MSME. And the tragic thing is that most of the MSMEs work in their regional language, because they are mostly proprietary companies and partnership companies. But the Ministry of MSME website is in English. तो वो कौन समझेगा उनका क्या क्या स्कीम है? They have so many schemes. How will somebody in Assam or Tamil Nadu or in Kerala or other place understand. He has to get hold of somebody to translate that from English to Malayalam or English to. तो ये बहुत ये दुख की बात है that most of the central government ministries they are only designed for IAS, IFS, IRS, police, railways, and educated English-speaking Indians, which is 7% of the population. 93% of the population of India don't understand English. उनके लिए तो क्या है? Those websites are like nothing. It has no meaning at all. So I think that is the fourth thing. I think the government has to change. I've written many letters to the government. They all agree. कोई करता नहीं है कुछ. They all agree. They don't disagree. I said, आपका constitution, either you change the constitution of India and say that English is the national language, or you say that India में 22 languages hai, and we will change. And I give them the example of 3 people who understand the importance of Indian languages. I said, Microsoft is in 22 Indian languages, Microsoft Office. Google is in 9 Indian languages. Oracle database is in 11 Indian languages. So let us learn from the foreigners importance of Indian language. उसके बाद वो चुप हो जाते हैं. They said, are you trying to teach us? So that's another problem. Secretary of Government of India से ज़्यादा अगर आप अकलमंदी दिखाएंगे, you can be bombarded with a lot of dandas. So we get bombarded. We said, we are not trying to teach you, we are just trying to give you the information. So but अभी तक कोई change नहीं हुआ है, ना होने वाला भी है. We say India is a IT superpower, but we are not using IT for improving our country. So these are the 4 things I would like to mention this to the esteemed group. Number 1, registration compulsory. Number 2, classification registration compulsory. Number 3, we have to have our websites of MSME and related ministries in Indian languages. And the 4th is the mindset. There's a huge mindset problem. Importance of MSMEs, we have to start teaching it in the colleges of India. What is an MSME? Thank you very much.
Sir, thank you very much for your enlightening and awakening session. Basically, what we gather from this session is that the utmost important thing, if we want to bring the positive changes in MSME sector, is the registration, and then bringing them together, making the numbers influential. But that requires a lot of awareness to be created, and is like our mission. Our mission, we say that we have to reach the last mile. We have to have the last mile connectivity and reach maximum people to bring them on the platform. So this is very important message which we are when we are concluding the first session of our MSME crisis dialogue series. I request everybody in the attendance to provide their contact number, and the businesses where they are involved. I thank everybody for the presence here. And in this series, we will have more and more lectures coming. Most probably every Saturday, Sunday, we will try to bring some experienced authority like Kishan Khanna ji, and have the interaction so that we reach maximum people and collectively we do something. We believe in collective wisdom. We believe in collective efforts. We believe more than the individual success. We believe in collective success. That is what our mission stands for. And with this word, and with the thanks to each and every person who participated, I hope that this gathering will bring more and more entrepreneurs together. The entrepreneurs in this crisis period should express themselves together with the community, and that is why the series has been initiated. So in this lecture series, you are always invited. Please keep watch on our website www.success.net, and our communication email ID is info@success.net. Please be in touch. Let us do something. Let us take some steps so that we bring positivity in the MSME sector. Thank you, Kishanji, and thank you,
Thank you.
everybody. I wait for your contact numbers and business details in the chat box, and I request you to be in touch with us either through our website or through our email ID. If you can provide your mail IDs also, it will be better. So we wait for the next Saturday or Sunday for the next lecture from some authority in MSME sector. Thank you, and I declare the meeting here ended.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all of
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Krishan ji. And thank you all the audience. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Take care.
Thank you. It was great to be there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Tarun ji.
Thank you, Tarun.
Bandhu.
Yeah, Ravi ji.
Thank you. Very, very good. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi ji. Welcome again.
Thank you.
We'll meet again.
Okay.
Take care.